Hello, and I am back live with a quick costume change. I'm welcoming Heinna today to talk about how an OBM can help grow your business. And as always, as I come in live and I come from a place of speaking, I would like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land on which I live, work and play here in the Gold Coast. They are the Yugambeh language region people, the Kombumerri people, and I pay my respects to the elders past, present and emerging, and I recognise their continuing connection to land, waterways and skies. Please join me now. I have Heinna coming in. Oh, wait, here we go. So fancy. Here we go. Jump in. Hopefully she's coming now. There we go. Hello.
You can
How
see
are
me, you can hear
you?
me. Good. How are you?
Yeah, good to see you. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
Unexpectedly twice live today, but
Hey, that's good. That's good.
I'm here. I'm loving your background.
Oh yeah, Kmart.
Tips
Yeah,
and tricks.
yeah.
So tell me, I'd love to know in your words, I always love to ask this big question to start off. Tell us, who are you?
Hi, my name is Heinna. I'm an OBM, an online business manager, a mentor. I like to call myself, an operations innovator. Of course, adding that on there is a mom. Actually, that's where we had met in Mom and Co. So that's been amazing, and it's nice to know that you're not alone in that journey. So that's really really good. Not just in business, but as a mom in business, I should say.
Yeah,
So yeah, that is a little bit about me, and mainly I help business and their teams streamline their processes and procedures in the back end so they work together and help each other, as the business grows, to help each other work together and really thrive together, release that stress out of there. So, yeah.
I'd love that. And where are you
Yeah.
based?
I'm in Sydney.
In Sydney. Awesome. But there's an
Yeah.
accent.
Yes. I actually I'm born in the Philippines, but I grew up in the States, and then obviously then I came here. So that's where the accent, like all over the place, I should say. And I'm sick, so today, so you get my lovely raspy voice on top of it all.
Well, thank you for joining me. Also
Yeah,
have
of
a bit
course.
of a headache. So look at us just
Yeah,
modeling,
thriving through. That's what it
just
is.
modeling
Yeah,
self-care wonderfully. I did lie down before and do a
that's
breathing
good.
exercise. My
That's really good.
one
Yeah,
of my
yeah,
gorgeous course members, Leisha, sent me this breathing exercise, and so it was actually really good. It was a guided one because sometimes meditations, but it was really
yeah,
like
yeah.
got me in the zone. So it was good.
Oh, that's so good. Yeah, and you need that. You need that, to do anything really. Yeah,
Yes, and so you did say a little bit before, but so OBM is this term that's being thrown around now, and
yeah,
people are starting, what's an OBM? And I think we all
yeah.
start to use our acronyms, but you explained that as an online business manager. So
Correct.
some people might know virtual assistant more, but how do
Yeah.
they differ? Like where do they sit in this sort of, I guess, how do they work together or
In a
why
service
they're
space,
different?
yeah. Yeah. So what I try to tell everybody in regards to, you need both. I'm not going to say, oh, one's better than the other or so forth. So I want to first go off of that because some people are like, you think it's better? Like, no, it's just kind of like how you work together. So online business managers, obviously they in their name, they manage. So they manage the team. So within, let's say a project, if you're starting to create a website, you need a website developer, you need somebody to help you with your copy, you need somebody to help you with your branding. So all of that, mostly, they come from like VA. So I'm a VA, and I am a website developer. I'm a VA. I am a copywriter. As the online business manager, you take in that team and you manage them and say, hey, these are all the things that, my client wants. So if you were my client, so you would say, she wants A, B, C, D, F, G. This is what we have. What do you need from us? So basically, you would say as an operations manager, that middleman between, the president and the team, and that is where the online business manager sits. But again, without either or, the business doesn't flow. So they work hand in hand together. But mainly, online business managers, they manage and they do the planning and see the overall of the business. And the VAs, they do the doing of what needs to get done And again, without each other, I want to really stress that without each other, you can't really have, can't
Oh
really have
yeah,
it
yeah.
without.
I've
Yeah,
definitely noticed
yeah,
a gap in my business of
yeah,
when I've had just the implementation and the task-oriented stuff,
yeah.
and then there's times where then I have somebody just managing, but there's nobody to actually do the work, or
To them,
it's
yeah,
me
yeah,
that
correct,
requires
yeah,
to do the work. But I'm also there
yeah,
trying to plan and goal and vision, and
yeah,
I'm the person who needs to be out there meeting people and
correct,
jumping on these calls. So it's like,
yeah.
who's going to keep me in line?
Yeah, and that's the online business manager mainly. We're the ones that kind of not afraid to say, hey, you need to get this done, done, done. Because, you
Yes.
said you're focusing on what you're doing best on the outside and growing your business. You really need the online business manager to kind of like, let's get this together. So,
And look, some virtual assistants do take a lot of
yes,
initiative and probably
yes,
like provide that role. But I think more traditionally, they are very like task oriented. I feel like online business managers are more without, like, they've kind of got those old school secretarial skills as well, and that
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah,
that sort of person who was the right
yeah,
hand person who we all know, like there
yeah.
was the boss, but the secretary, like you knew that she was the gatekeeper, like, or
Yeah, yeah.
that
She knew
the
more what was going on than,
yeah, the
the
EA
boss.
was
Yeah,
the person who was
yeah,
like, all right, if I want to get in with this person, I need to know this person. So I think the
yeah,
online
yeah,
business
yeah.
manager sort of has that
Sits on
role.
that. Sits on that. Yeah, yeah. And I think it's just the naming of it, because I think because for myself, because I'm from the States, I heard that a lot of terms, like the only. I know here in Australia it's a little bit different. Like it's still newer, so a lot. I see. And you're right. Like a lot of VAs take on to that role, and I also want to share that with everybody. Like you're doing that role. That should be something that you really just step into. It's okay. You could say I'm an online business manager because it took me a while to kind of like go from that to saying I'm an online business manager myself. So yeah,
Yeah, brilliant. And
yeah,
yeah, it is.
yeah,
It really is owning that role,
yeah,
um,
yeah,
and getting that
yeah,
clear as well for, I think, for
yeah,
the client too is really
yeah,
helpful. So,
yeah,
um, well, and you said a little bit about how you got into it, but I'd love
yeah.
to elaborate more, because you said there was that virtual assistant background, but you also have other things. So how did you come in?
Yeah. So basically, how I started was with the lovely, COVID and all that fun stuff happened. It was like, what's the next step? And I do have younger children, so it was like, do I go back to work, or because some of child cares weren't taking them unless you were, frontline or whatever, depending on the position that you were on. But since I guess it's just all fell into my lap, I was redundant. COVID happened, all that fun stuff. So, but I've done like EA roles, supporting roles in my previous jobs in corporate. So when I kept seeing VA out there, and I was like, oh, let's try this out and let's see what it is, and I took course, went for full throttle on that. But then as my business was growing, I have learned that yes, I can do that particular role as a VA, but there was this online business manager, and that's what I love, like projects and making sure everybody's doing with it and collecting everybody to work together. That's why now I'm also talking a lot about teams. And that's why it was really nice when I saw the online business, because some people call themselves digital business managers. Some people call themselves fractional COOs, but yeah, so mainly it's just a lot of that. And I knew that was what I've done in the past. So when I was like, okay, as my business is growing, where do I want to take this? And I knew online business manager was for me. So I really just hound down into that. It took me a while because I was like, but I started as a VA. It's like, it's okay. This is who you are. This is who you want to be. And you go for it. So yeah, that's kind of my journey, from the beginning of my business to where I am now.
Absolutely. And there is a
Yeah,
transition. I think that's such an important message, because
yeah,
when they're starting out, they're like, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to call myself. And it's like, well,
yeah, yeah,
start doing the work, because sometimes
yeah,
then once you're doing the work and you're delivering
yeah,
it to the clients and you're working with the clients, sometimes the clients give you the title.
yeah,
Sometimes they give
yeah,
you the,
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
know one of
And
the
yeah,
women that I've had on the podcast, she's a ninja, video ninja. That's what her clients called her. She's like, oh, I'm going to call
oh,
myself that.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah,
but
yeah.
she's like, I do video, and
Mm-hmm.
or I can be a video creator or video director, or that. And they're
Yeah,
like, no, you're a ninja. Like, you just get all the stuff done and make it happen. And she's like, yeah, I do.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah, yeah,
some
yeah.
bookkeepings, people who call themselves ninjas as well. And I'm like,
Yeah, yeah.
go
And I think
nuts.
that's what it, yeah, and I think that's what it is. It's more of like That's why a lot of people would think, oh, online business, what is it? Yes, you have to kind of re-explain, but at the same time, that's what I really like, how, like, that's what I'm really stepping into. And yeah, the people call themselves all sorts of things, and that's okay. As long as you know what they get done and results that they get done for you, like, we can call yourself anything, to be honest, in the end, yeah.
And so how can
Yeah.
an online business manager help a business grow?
For myself, like for what I have done for my clients and for what I've done for myself, online business managers come in and really take your idea and deliver it to the next step. Find that mapping plan of like, okay, this is like, again, let's start with the website. Quite simple to listen to. Okay, I want my website to do this, or whatever it may be. We're collaborators with you. We work with you and say, these are the ideas that we have. This is what I've worked with in the past, and this is who I know can deliver this vision that you have. So as an online business manager, the ideas as a business owners that you have that, we can't do, as business owners, we can't do everything, because you obviously have to focus on, growing the business and being the face. The OBM really does the back end stuff for you, to do the movements, to, I guess you could say, like the ninja of just like slicing everything, dicing everything, to make sure that everything is put together. So when you're ready to come in and say, okay, how's my website? What's going on with it? Where is it at? Look, I got all your ideas. This is what it looked like. And you just sit there and go, oh my God, that's so beautiful. Without, I'm not saying I'm not saying if you have OBM, you're never going to have a headache, because you will. But, it releases a
Oh,
lot of
that's
stuff
just
for you.
communication
Yeah,
and
that's just,
timelines and
yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
But
advice.
it
So,
is a really
yeah,
big help, like especially when you're
yeah,
doing something like, I create a course, I've got a program, like there's many
yes,
moving pieces.
yes, correct.
When we're onboarding a client, there's a contract, there's payment system, there's the emails that have to go to them, and it's like making sure that all those things join up. And
Yeah, and
for
work
me, as the
together.
business owner, to have to go in and do all of those pieces,
Yeah,
it's really time consuming, and it does take me away from, if I'm trying to like, yeah, deal with, well, why isn't this connecting? Or
yeah,
it's so easier and better when I can like be focused on the messaging and the content,
yes,
because that's what my genius is. And then that
yeah,
someone else is like, well, this is what I want to say, and this is what I want to deliver to my audience. Can you help me get it there? And it's like, well,
yeah,
okay, well, in order to do that, we need to do this by this date and this on that time. And that's where I think that's where I fall over on my own, is like, I'm like, da 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 da. And then it's like, it's meant to be
yeah,
done tomorrow. Like,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
why didn't
And I
anyone
think
tell
that's what it
me?
is, like, yeah, yeah, and I think that's what it is. It's mainly just filling in the gaps that you're not good at. And say with me, like, I'm good with these things, but then if you ask me to like create, like, I don't know, create something nice and on camera, something is like, oh, it might take a second or two, or like the whole process of how that these things are going to look, or in marketing or whatnot, not my forte. But that's why the online business manager really will put that together. But like, yes, this is the right fit for our business, because they understand your business, they know your goals, and they see the overall. It's kind of like, you multiplied yourself, like you cloned yourself to be another
Yes.
person, but doing the things you don't want to do, to be honest, or you can't do, I should say. Yeah,
Well, especially that more administrative stuff, and some of it's very time consuming, and
yeah,
a lot of data, sometimes
yeah,
data
yeah,
that, when you're trying to think really creatively and big picture, to get dragged into that level of detail, yeah, it can really detract from the work. So I know that
yeah, yeah,
I've really benefited from having virtual assistants. And, at the time she was calling herself a virtual assistant, but she definitely was providing that OBM sort of role for me.
yeah,
Yeah, it
yeah.
was
And
really,
and you never realize it until like you're like, oh my gosh, so many things have like slipped my mind, but I have somebody that backs me up, that I don't have to really
yeah.
think
But
that part of it. Yeah,
remember you said you wanted to do this? I'm like, yeah.
yeah,
Or
yeah.
sometimes I'm like, shh, don't tell me that. Like, I know.
Yeah,
I'm just
yeah, yeah,
la
yeah,
la la la.
yeah, 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 yeah. No,
They're like,
exactly. No,
well,
that's
you
for
said you
sure.
wanted to do it, so I'm
Yeah,
gonna do it.
yeah,
And I'm like, I know, I know, I
yeah,
know.
yeah, 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 yeah,
And you need to be,
yeah,
they need to be a little bit like, I don't want to say bossy, but they do,
yeah,
uh, you got to be a little bit direct as well, because
yeah,
us
yeah.
creatives and entrepreneurs can be a tad flighty.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Woo,
And then
ideas,
yeah,
and you're
I
like,
mean,
rein it back in, lady. Do your
yeah, yeah,
work.
yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And I think that's exactly what it is. Like in the corporate like office, the operations manager's like, nope, not gonna work. like, and you really value what they say because they're the ones that see the outside of your business and what's going inside. Or it could be like, yes, we could do that, but not right now. We don't have the team for it because they know what's going on back here, you know. So we don't have that support. It's kind of hard to do certain things, but that's what
And
they do.
that's
They
very
help you
important.
to get that point. Yeah,
That's important for the VAs and the OBMs to do, is to
yeah,
push back, because
yeah,
otherwise they can end up in overwhelm, being like, yeah, I can do all
yeah,
this stuff,
yeah,
when
yeah,
they
yeah,
can't. And then the business owner or the entrepreneur gets a really misguided understanding. I mean, and employees do it too. Like, if you
yeah,
take on too much and you're over capacity, you're not,
yeah.
and if you're over delivering as well, you're not actually helping that person, because then
Correct.
they think that, oh, we can do all of these things, when we're actually, one, probably not doing them very well, and
Yes.
two, or we're not doing them, they're just, things aren't getting done. But you're like, oh, I'll
Yeah,
just keep
yeah,
delegating, and keep doing more. And it's like, we actually can't do all those things all at once.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
nice
yeah,
to
yeah,
go, all right, well, what is the priority and what do we focus on? And I know I've done that. We've gone, okay, let's get the podcast process working really well. Okay, we've got that
yeah,
going. All right, let's work on now the social media content posts and the content calendar and
yeah,
get that working well. Okay, that's working. Now let's get the blog posts back and
yeah,
swinging. And once the system is working and it's flowing and everybody knows which step and when things need to be
yes,
done, that's fine.
yeah,
But
yeah.
working out that process and that system can actually take a little time.
Yeah, yeah. And there's going to be trials and errors in all between of that. You know, it's not something that you just go and say, yay, and it's going to happen. It's like trial and error. And that's why, like with me, and I try to always tell my clients, like, I need to understand every side of your business so I can give you the right opinion of what I've done. Like, yes, this will work, but this is the type of things that we're trying to target, or this will work, but not right now. Like you said, you know,
Mm.
step by step, working out a map for them. Like, this is what needs to be. And that's really what OBMs do. They really just go in there, see the whole picture, and kind of take that moving part, put it here. And it just kind of streamlines it. Again, can't say everything is always perfect, but it's a lot easier rather than just kind of seeing it all everywhere, you know? So, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
And so, are
yeah.
you showing up on social media quite a bit? Do you face,
Yeah, trying.
do you face any challenges with that, with your own personal brand? And
Yeah, that was quite a bit of a struggle for me to get to because I took quite a big break because I was going into like, what did I really want to do? How was it I wanted to serve? So I couldn't really show up until I understood that because I was just kind of like, I can dance or whatever, or I can take a cute picture, but what is it the message I was trying to say? Who am I being? And, you know, within my business, I really found myself as well because in corporate, it was like, this is your role and that was it. But in online, like you do so many things, especially if you're working for yourself. So what I did was start reflecting into the self branding. I was like, you know what? Like I might not be the typical OBM or the typical, you know, admin person, but I'm going to show up as me. And I've gotten better responses than ever. And I've connected with people, you know, and I can't even say like, oh, everything is just amazing, but I feel so good. It doesn't feel like a chore. It doesn't feel like, oh my God, I have to do a reel today. Or like, oh my God, I have to, you know, whatever. It's just more of like, how can I just, like my biggest struggle right now is I want to learn how to do more better transitions or something like that. Like those type of things rather than before I was like, oh my God, what am I going to say or whatever. When I started showing it myself, it's a lot easier. So it's not like, oh my God, like that sounds like yes, I'll look at it and be like, oh, I don't know, my double chin showing. It happens, I was like, whatever. That's just what it's gonna, you know, you're gonna get what you're
yeah,
gonna get. That doesn't mean I can't do my work because I got a double chin, you know, like that's just how it is. So no, I think personal branding has been amazing and really hounding down and just letting everybody know who I am. And I've gotten a great feedback. I've got a hater, so I think that's pretty funny too, you know, but
yeah,
I didn't take, yeah, but you know, it's like before I would have gotten that comment and I would have been like, oh my God, like this is it, like nothing's gonna happen, like this is why, you know. But now I saw it and I said, that's funny. And then I was like, whoop, don't resonate with her. Oops, oh well, like it's because I know who I want to serve and what I want to serve. And I'm not saying it's super easy and life is easier in business or whatever, but showing up is a lot easier, you know, and
that's
being
nice to hear.
getting myself out there. Yeah,
And so, and what's
yeah.
important for you with that, like in terms of like connecting to your audience, and because you are trying to talk to business owners, and so what's really important for you when you show up like that?
I just want them to understand that this is, what they see is what they get. I think it's because I struggled a lot with when I came from corporate. I was like if you see my pictures before, it was very like tight and like, oh, this is it. But what I've seen is that like I was like, oh, they're not gonna trust me, or they're not gonna think that I could do this job because I'm showing up in this kind of shirt or whatever, or this kind of background. Like I had all white because I was like, gotta make it plain. Like we have to make it look super profesh. But I want the business owners to understand that I can do the work and that, but I'm gonna have fun with it, and you're gonna have fun with it. Like that is what I
Well,
want them to
hello.
know because, yeah. See, there you go, yeah.
I'm wearing a
I want
bloody
them to
rainbow
know.
unicorn top. I'm still a professional, people. I can
Yeah,
still deliver the
exactly.
goods.
Exactly, and that's what it is, and I think that's what I was so scared of because I was like, oh, I gotta get, I gotta look this, and I gotta get this kind of coat because of course there's time and place for everything. Like I'm not gonna show up in certain things, certain places, but I'm not gonna go every day and put like the suit on and da 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 because that's not who I am. Like I understand that I'm a business person, I can handle all of this, and hang out with my 3-year-old. She's my coworker, so that's just kind of how it is. And I think self branding is such a big deal. And I never understood that until I really stepped into it, until I accepted this is who I am and this is who I want to show up. And everybody could just, if they like it, they like it. They don't, it's okay, whatever. So
Exactly.
yeah, yeah,
What a beautiful
yeah,
way to grow your business. Just
yeah,
get to be you.
yeah, yeah,
And so tell us,
yeah.
how can people connect with you? What's the best way
Oh,
to
you
get in
could just,
contact?
yeah. I think you can DM me on Instagram. I just changed my name today, so it's OBM, underscore assembly. You can email me, Heinna at HeinnaVase.com. Um, I feel like I'm quite approachable. Whatever socials that I'm in, just message me, just say, hey, I saw you this or whatever. I just love talking. I think, as we all seen, and even if my voice is so raspy, I'm still talking away. But yeah, so mainly on Instagram. I'm also on LinkedIn, on Facebook, but my name's quite unique, so just type HEINNA, and I'm sure you'll find me
Yeah,
somewhere there all over the place. Yeah,
I love
yeah,
it. Well, thank you so much
yeah.
for your time. And I
No,
must
thank
also
you.
recognize, thank you for putting yourself forward. And we connected on Mums and Co.
Yeah,
So thank you to Lucy for
yeah,
connecting
yeah.
us.
Thank you,
Uh,
Lucy. Yes, yeah.
and thank you for reaching out. I think that's so good.
Oh,
And,
thank you. Yeah.
you've got to take these
I love what you
opportunities.
do. Like the first time I met you, I was like, oh my gosh, it's just this pretty. I think you were just doing the retreat. It was a retreat that you just were at the end, and I was like, oh, I would love to have gone, but timing and everything. But I was like, yeah, I need to reach out to her. I just didn't know what angle. But then when Lucy was like, reach out, I was like, doing it, getting there. So
Here we are. You got to,
yeah,
just
here
get
we are.
say hi. And like you said, I
Yeah,
hope I'm pretty approachable as well. So I hope
yeah,
I give
yeah,
off that
yeah, yeah,
vibe, reach
yeah,
out,
yeah,
and you
yeah,
never
yeah,
know.
yeah,
And I
yeah.
think also telling, I've shared an email that's coming up soon to my audience, and it's tell people if you admire them or if you liked what they were saying and what they're dishing out, tell them, because it's such an honor to have that feedback and to someone to
That's
go,
true.
oh, you said something and I connected with it. So I think
Yeah, yeah,
that's such
yeah.
a gift if somebody reaches out and says, I like what you're doing. You're like, well,
Yeah,
thank
yeah,
you.
yeah.
I don't think
That's so
anybody
true.
is going to
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
say, well, no, thank you. Or, maybe they're too busy, but
Yeah, 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 yeah.
I'm never too busy for a compliment. So you just
Yeah,
keep
yeah,
bringing
yeah.
those
Come,
away.
come on in, come on in. But yeah, well, thank
Come
you
on.
for having me. Yeah, exactly. But thank you for having me. And I know you're going on holiday, so enjoy and can't wait to reconnect for sure.
Thank you. And
Yeah,
yes, you've been
thank
fun.
you.
I'm going to be sharing about the retreat soon. So I'll keep
Yeah.
you in the
Oh, yes,
loop.
yes,
And
yes,
for anybody who's
yeah,
watching back later, I would love to have you all there. So
yeah,
thank you. We'll have
yeah.
all those like nature vibes that you've
Thank
got
you.
going on behind you.
Yeah, 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 yeah. All
Go
right.
back
Thank
to the
you so much.
jungle.
Have a good week. Yeah,
Thanks,
yeah,
Hannah.
exactly,
Bye.
exactly. Bye.